Hey guys, so today I want to make a video talking about why I decided to release all of my artwork for free, specifically my 3D printable miniatures. So I started making these in August of last year, and the first thing I ever made, I went to a D&D Beyond forum and I was like, hey, I want to learn how to 3D model, what do you guys want? And that's where I started off from. Pretty humble beginnings, pretty simple, and as I got better, people were more excited about it and like, hey, you should make a Patreon and then share them on Thingiverse. And I was like, yeah, it sounds great. So eventually I ended up putting a paywall in front of it though. I think it was $2. Yeah, $2 a month for access to all of my miniatures. And the reason I did this is because it made sense to me to monetize it because I didn't want to just be a hobby. If I could work as a full-time artist, that's something I was very open to. So I want to see if I can get traction for that. And I did, which is really encouraging. And I loved that. But as it went on, I felt like I was losing the reason of why I was doing it because I didn't just want to make money. I still really enjoyed making stuff people would use. That was the biggest part of it. That's why I like Thingiverse so much. So that's another problem that I had is that when we started using Patreon is that I didn't have nearly as much like publicity. I think now that my stuff is for free on Thingiverse in the last 30 days, I've had over 30,000 views. So even if it's the same person viewing it again, 30,000 is a huge number, and that's more like publicity than I was ever getting before. So in order to combat that, when I had a paywall in front of it, I had to promote the crap out of all of my models. Like I was constantly like, hey, look at this, you only can get it here, and it just felt really insincere. And it didn't make sense to me because I am really passionate about this, and I think that was starting to take a back seat to it. So that's one of the reasons I definitely wanted more people to see it, more traction. And of course, I do enjoy giving back to the community. I mean, obviously, everyone admires Miguel Zavala for doing the same thing because it's just awesome, you know? It makes sense to give back in that way. And also because since there are more people making Patreon for 3D printable miniatures, there's just better artists out there. I'll get there eventually, but I know that I'm not there now. I do think my stuff is still worth being paid for, but not through the way Patreon is. It just didn't feel right to me to put a paywall in front of it. So the third biggest reason why I wanted to do that is because it's just a different audience. So it made sense to me that when people are getting it for free, they're a little less entitled feeling. I used to get messages when I had a $2 paywall, $2 per month for all my miniatures, and every miniature I've ever made specifically. And I remember I got messages from people that I'd make like 15 models in a month, and there was one they didn't like very much. They'd message me and be like, hey, I paid $2 for this. And it's so ridiculous. I didn't really know what to say because I didn't want to sound like apologetic because I wasn't. I'm like, I don't owe it to you to make everything you like, you know? But it still felt weird to me because I don't want to be snotty either because I really appreciated them. So this was the best option for me. Now that my stuff is for free, Patreon's completely optional. It's a different audience and they're awesome. I mean, they're super kind. The requests they make are fantastic because now I'm just back to taking requests again. It is kind of ironic that there's now a paywall in front of my requests, but I don't know. I've noticed that the quality of requests are better that way. When I was taking just free requests, I'd get a lot of stuff all over the place, and too specific, they would just ask for me to make their character pretty much, and not even like common or uncommon characters. It was weird. It was stuff that no one would probably really want. But yeah, this model's worked a lot better for me, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So yeah, until next time.